Well, then there's culture. This is another domain of symbols. It's a very attractive domain of symbols. I mean, to the degree that you're an aficionado of a sports team, you're tangled up by your symbolic longing for a place within a culture. And it's so tied up with your psychological being that you will act like the team is you. In fact, one of the weird things about human beings is that they'll often celebrate the victories of their heroes or their teams more intensely than they would ever celebrate anything that ever happened to them. I mean, how often do you see people at work, you know, throw their hands up in the air and then run out in the hallways and dance around because something good has happened? It's like it never happens. But if it's a football game or a hockey game, people will paint up their faces, and when there's a goal scored, which is a symbolic act too, right? Because, you know, human beings like to hit the target. There's a sexual element to that, but there's also an element of hunting, and there's an element of specifying your target and achieving it, you know, and doing that cooperatively with all the other people on your team and competitively in relationship to the other team. It's a real little microcosm. But the point is the symbolic element of that will grab you. Just like you're a primitive tribesman, and you won't even notice. You'll think, oh, I'm just having a party because my team won. It's like, yes, you are some peculiar creature. So, and you know, all the teams, they have their tribal logos, essentially, you know, and all the iconography that goes with it, and they're treated almost as if they're sacred objects by people who are the fans. You know, they'll go look at the silver cup, and they're happy if it comes to their town. It's like, don't be thinking you're not superstitious. You know, it's just that our modern superstitions are visible to us, and we don't notice they're there. It's like, you're superstitious right to the core. And human beings have always been. Culture. Superego. Freud's categories. Id, ego, superego. Map quite nicely onto nature, individual, culture. So that's kind of interesting.